Black Clover mangaka Yuki Tabata has shown to parallel a lot of plot points and themes in the series. Asta and Yuno are orphan brothers, paralleling the brother-in-laws of Licht and Lumiere and their past exploits. Both of them take aspects, themes, and qualities of both of these past kings. We already know the dark twist that would happen in Licht and Lumiere's relationship, the fall of Licht to that of a legendary ancient demon, forcing Lumiere to take him down alongside the help of Sekre. How likely is it that Asta will parallel Licht's dark path, even if it is against his own will? Though Asta is our cheery, heroic main character, his massive ties to forbidden magic and devils could be leading him onto a dark path. Will Yuno be forced to stop him to save the world? Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Broku, and I'll say thank you guys so much for all the support. I think we just surpassed 55,000 subscribers right before I started recording this video, so thank you guys so much for that. We're only 45,000 away from my goal of getting 100,000, and also my secondary goal is, I guess, surpassing my original channel, Broku72, which is at 79,000, so we should surpass that in a few months, which will be exciting. So thank you guys so much for all the support. If you guys didn't join this Black Clover Theory, drop 2,000 likes, subscribe, turn on notifications. You can join my Discord and follow me on Twitter down below. Also, I'll be going live tomorrow, Friday night, on this channel, live streaming talking about Black Clover and other manga. With that being said, let's get into this theory, talking about the theory of Asta possibly becoming evil. Asta is that main character that will never give up, nor budge upon his ideals. The type of hero that even struggles to kill villains if there is any sense of good within them. But it may be possible that one day he could be morphed into the very thing he has sworn to destroy. I want to discuss the theory of Asta going evil. It seems that it is possible that he could go evil, but it may actually be against his own will and not really a part of his own volition because he's just naturally a good guy. It would take a long time, in my opinion, and a lot of things that were very bad to happen to him for him to actually go evil on his own volition. This is something that has almost happened before, and is something that could possibly happen still later on. Now, when I talk about an evil Asta, I actually highly doubt that Asta, like I said, would be evil in any conventional way. It would be something like him falling into darkness, falling in a way that Licht fell to the darkness. I actually believe that there are two main ways on how Asta could become evil. We know that all it takes for someone to fall into demonhood is a lot of hatred and then magic from the underworld. While Asta is a loving and forgiving main character, it is possible that he would suffer hatred. For example, if one were to kill Yuno, or any of his loved ones like the family within the Black Bulls, it would be dumbfounded if Asta did not succumb to the true hatred for that person or entity that did kill that person or those people. We saw how mad Asta was at Patri for the slaying of Julius, and Asta was still able to reason with Patri, and you might use that as an example for how Asta did not succumb to hatred. But you know that Patri was a pawn at that point. He wasn't just a pure evil being. You know that he's being manipulated. He knew that they also needed to team up to defeat a dark being from another world and the devil Zagred. And while Asta looked up to Julius as inspiration, he had no bonds with him. Now, if you took away all of these, if for example a devil or a dark tribe member killed one of his loved ones, I believe that all of these would fall out of the window because none of them apply here. Asta would hate that entity, especially if that entity's sole purpose was to bring about malice for the sake of malice. With Asta succumbing to hatred, an army of devils harnessing power from the underworld in the vicinity, Lucifero or the other Cliff-Off devils may take advantage of the situation and pour the negative mana into our cheery main character and turn him to that of a demon. Yuno, a royal with bright magic who is loved by mana, would parallel Lumiere in this situation, of killing his brother who is transformed to that of a demon. Now, I still think the scenario would come out differently. I think Yuno and Asta becoming the first pair of brothers to lift each other up out of the darkness and live on. Unlike Licht and Lumiere, unlike Nacht and Morgan, Yuno and Asta are part of this cycle, but they will break it. While I think it is possible for Asta to fall of a path to demonhood, I don't think it's the most likely scenario. In fact, this one is far more likely in my opinion, and that is number 2. So, I have made a bunch of theories that compile the evidence that Asta is a devil hybrid. And in those theories, I think that Asta could be the son of a low-rank or nobody devil, thus making Asta in his own right a low-rank devil hybrid. Now, I have made multiple videos on this topic. I've even made a singular video that kind of gathers all the evidence, so I don't want to go too much into this video, but I'll give a few pieces of evidence, and then I'll link videos down below on why I think it's very possible. Now, it's not proof, but it's possible that Asta is a devil hybrid. But for one, he has resistance to life energy attacks, which is implied is a devil power, as Lucita says that the life energy stealing ability that she has would not affect Libe because he's a devil, and if these attacks don't affect Asta, then that implies that he might be a devil. Also, he has 4 horns in Devil Union, when Libe only has 2, and we know that when it comes to the Dark Triad, they only have the horns of their host, or of their devil that they are hosting. Also, he has extra facial markings, which each horn, these markings apply to the devil, so that means if there's 2 different sets of facial markings, that means there should be another devil involved, which could be Asta. And also, the 5-leaf Clover Grimoire, it shows him. We know that 5-leaf Clover Grimoires are for devils to come about into the real world, so if 5-leaf Clover Grimoires are for devils, why did it pick Asta if he's just a pure human? Now there's a lot more evidence in these videos, but that's all I'm going to go over just for the sake of brevity within this video. Now if this is true, then it is possible that Lucifero could use Asta's body to come into the real world. We know that he tried this with Libe, and that it would have proved successful if not for Lucita and her mana stealing abilities. And now seemingly, Lucifero would not be able to possess Libe's body, as it is now filled with anti-magic, which would in theory negate that possession. However, Asta's body does not have any anti-magic inherently. He has only anti-magic when Libe trickles it to him, and that is only the time when he has it. Now, of course, in Devil Union, sure, but it still is Libe's power. Now, if my devil hybrid theory for Asta runs true, then if Lucifero waits for the right moment, I wouldn't be surprised if it seems as if the day is won, and Asta's defeated Cliff Devils with his Devil Union, and when the time limit is up, it will seem as if they have won the day. But Lucifero sees the now separated Asta, who is monoless on his own right, and Lucifero will go into his body and overtake him. Now, this is because Lucifero can go into the bodies of low-ranked devils, as he stated with Libe, and if Asta is a devil hybrid, he would likely be a low-ranked devil, and thus he could take over Asta's body, especially if he's separated from Libe, and there is no anti-magic to negate that. Now, you might question this, as then Libe and Asta could just use their contract and pair up, and use the anti-magic to stop Lucifero from taking over Asta's body, but we just got the Lucifuchus reveal in the latest chapter. Lucifuchus, who is a Cliff devil, Lucifuchus, who in real-life demonology is the overseer of contracts in the underworld. For example, if Lucifero is the devil of gravity, Lucifuchus is the devil of contracts. This means that Lucifuchus very well could have the power either weaken or straight up nullify the contract between Asta and Libe, and this allows Lucifero to take over Asta's body, and this means that Libe cannot do Devil Union with him to imbue him with anti-magic that would negate the possession. This would be absolutely insane and crazy, as we'd have to see an evil Asta going all out against all of his friends and allies and being forced to fight Libe once more. Now that I think about it, imagine how crazy it would be to finally see Asta's physical strength paired with bottomless mana. Lucifero's immense gravity magic, Asta's unstoppable muscles, paired with Lucifero's unmovable gravity magic. It would be quite the interesting connection that Lucifero contracted with Dante, who had body magic, whereas Asta's body is just so strong. It's possible that a strong body would be needed for Lucifero to fully incarnate into his host, and this could possibly work very well with Asta. Asta was taken under control once before by the Witch Queen, in which he actually killed his friends, but was stopped by Vanessa and her then newfound powers of fate manipulation. But what if Vanessa, in this scenario, is low on mana, or in a different area at the time? Then this time, there would be no fate that could stop him. Everyone else's fate would be set. Asta would be forced to kill them, while being possessed by Lucifero, the top devil. Now this could tie it into my other theory, where maybe they have to kill Asta to defeat him, and this is how he goes to Valhalla when his soul is transferred to that realm by that of a Valkyrie. Or he could possibly survive, but Lucifero is cast away from his body and sent back to the underworld. But this causes him to be the looming threat later on in the series, the one that Asta will hold a grudge against for making him kill his own comrades. Maybe it will even get to the point where he even destroys the Clover Kingdom while using Asta as his host, though I honestly doubt that the Clover Kingdom will be destroyed at this point because Asta just saved it with Devil Union defeating the Ancient Demon. But I do think it is possible that Tabata has been foreshadowing this dark moment for Asta, a very dark moment, giving Lucifero the ability to take over the bodies of low-ranked devils as he could with Libe, but now that being a likely impossibility due to the anti-magic. There's also plethora of foreshadowing and evidence that Asta is a devil hybrid and would then likely be a low-ranked devil as well. This would be an interesting and crazy way to further build up Lucifero as a villain in the series, making Asta kill the people he loves and then possibly forcing them to all kill Asta, the one that so many look up to as a shining example of a magic knight and a friend. While Lucifero is the looming evil in the background, he has barely been shown in the series, has had absolutely no development as a character, since it is impossible to develop a character that barely exists. Including Lucifero into the plot in such a malicious way would be something that could add to his characterization as a villain, and would fit with the direction of the story that Yuki Tabata is telling. This would allow Asta to parallel Licht in yet another way. Lucifero to finally introduce himself as a villain to the main cast, so both they and the audience can learn to fear him. I just love the visual of Asta finally using magic, like he has always yearned to. But in this instance, it will be malicious negative mana, the power of gravity that will use his hardened body as a vessel and harness against his friends and allies. Again, either Asta dies from this like Julius predicted, and we get some sort of Asta afterlife training arc, or they defeat Lucifero that's inside of Asta and send him back to the underworld, and Asta has to immediately live with the consequences of being used for the obliteration of Innocence and his allies. Now this is just a theory, it could be right, could be wrong, however, but I think it is foreshadowed that Lucifero could take over Asta's body. When you pair with the fact that he wants to do that, if he fails with the cliff-off tree, then Asta's body will be the last resort if he is indeed a low-ranked devil. Well, let me know your thoughts on this theory down below. Please comment, tell me what you think. Now, I know about a third of you do believe that Asta is a devil hybrid. I did a poll, I think almost 2 weeks ago now, so that's a lot of you. That's a lot of people. 1/3 to believe that Asta is a devil hybrid. So I'm glad that I've gotten a lot of people on this train, even though, like I said, I'm kind of like 51, maybe 60-40. Like I'm 60% sure that he's a devil hybrid, but there's still 40% where I'm like, there's still evidence that he's not, and it still might not fit with what Tabata's doing, but I still think there is a lot of evidence going for it. And let me know what you think of this overall theory. Do you think that Lucifero will take over Asta's body as a host? Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like. Let's shoot for 2,000 likes on this insane Black Clover theory. Turn on notifications so you can be notified. Don't forget about my stream this Friday. And also, join my Discord and follow me on Twitter down below. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...